Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakach Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is Thamayim in Atlanta, and I've got this article pulled up. It was crazy. During camp this past Saturday, the bros were out there speaking on the nukes and the waste that's going to happen to Babylon. And I just pulled up, and this article came up right when they were speaking about nuclear bombs going off, and I had to save it and figured I needed to do a lesson on it. And so this is from the Conversation US. It got pushed to me on Saturday. It says 4 days ago. It says nuclear threats are increasing. Here's how the U.S. should prepare for a nuclear event. And so obviously they think this is inevitable and that there's something that they could do to prepare for it. But the truth is, America will be hit and it will be absolutely destroyed. No one that is here outside of the elect will make it. This will be their grave if they're still here or even make it to the time that the nukes go off, because society will collapse, Jacob's trouble will commence, and World War III will commence, and through that, America and the land of Israel will be struck by nukes. Israel will be rebuilt, but America is going to be left as a memorial of where wickedness dwelt, and it's just a sign of how not to be, or else the Lord will send a terrible plague on you. It says, because several generations have passed since the atomic bombings at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the only use of nuclear weapons in warfare, some may think the threat from nuclear weapons has receded because people assume that the idea of mutually assured destruction will actually keep the nukes from being used, but they will be used. There's no way that these are all stacked up and just gonna stay in their closets. These nukes are gonna be used, and that's why Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai created them, or gave Esau the power to create it. As it says, I've created the smith, which createth the waster to destroy. He put these ideas into the minds of the scientists to actually make these deadly weapons. It says, but international developments, including nuclear threats from Russia and the war in Ukraine, have brought a broader awareness of the vulnerability to global peace from nuclear events. I've been studying the effects of nuclear events from detonations to accidents for over 30 years. This has included my direct involvement in research, teaching, and humanitarian efforts in multiple expeditions to Chernobyl and Fukushima contaminated areas. Now, I am involved in the proposal for the formation of a nuclear global health workforce, which I proposed in 2017. And Chernobyl is an interesting place. A nuke didn't go off there, but there was a nuclear meltdown, and most of the area was destroyed, or at least destroyed to where humans couldn't inhabit it. But that waste actually cleansed the land, and it's flourishing nowadays. You look at it and it's extremely green. There's all sorts of animals running around, and it's very similar to what is going to happen when the nukes go off around the world. It's going to be a cleansing of the earth because everything is so polluted through the through the rulership of the Edomites. They have polluted everything, and the earth needs a cleansing. We're looking for new heavens, new earth. So such a group could bring together nuclear and non-nuclear technical and health professionals for education and training to help to meet the preparedness, coordination, collaboration, and staffing requirements necessary to respond to a large-scale nuclear crisis. And there's nothing you can do. It says, what would this workforce need to be prepared to manage? For that, we can look back at the legacy of the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, as well as nuclear accidents like Chernobyl and Fukushima. And we know that Little Boy and Fat Man went off in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. If you haven't seen the movie Oppenheimer, highly suggest you see it. It's a good movie, and it's prophetic. My favorite part was the absolute end, where they basically show the lake of fire from a top-down view. Not spoiling anything, it's just, it's a kind of a vision, or it's not going to spoil anything for you. You should expect to see that. It says, what happens when a nuclear device is detonated over a city? Approximately 135,000 and 64,000 people died, respectively, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The great majority of deaths happened in the first days after the bombings, mainly from thermal burns, severe physical injuries, and radiation. The great majority of doctors and nurses in Hiroshima were killed and injured, and therefore unable to assist in the response. This was largely due to the concentration of medical personnel and facilities in inner urban areas. The exact concentration exists today in the majority of American cities and is a chilling reminder of the difficulty in medically responding to nuclear events. It says, what if a nuclear device was detonated in an urban area today? I explored this issue in 2007, study modeling a nuclear weapon attack on 4 American cities. As in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the majority of deaths would happen soon after the detonation, and the local healthcare response capability would be largely eradicated. And it doesn't even matter if you're doing these tests, because everything in America will be destroyed. It's going to be overkill, because that's how much hate the world has towards America. It says models show that such an event in an urban area, and how much hate the Lord has towards America, Babylon the Great. Models show that such an event in an urban area, in particular, will not only destroy the existing public health protections, but will most likely make it extremely difficult to respond, recover, and rehabilitate them. And really, there's nothing you could do. I just like the title of this, because it makes it sound inevitable, in which it is. They're trying to prepare for an event that the only way to prepare for it is through Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and it starts by knowing the names of the Father, Yahweh, and the Son, Yahushai. And really, the Lord has to wake you up to it. If he doesn't, he wants you to be destroyed in this, so you can start over. And it's a punishment for the heathen, and especially Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man, whose time is quickly running out, whose rulership is quickly running out. So we're just going to get into the scriptures. This is Malachi 4 and verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. And you know how hot an oven can get. Even the oven in your house, that can heat up so much. You open the door and it kind of, you feel those heat waves come up when you're opening the door. And then there's those industrial and commercial ovens, and then even kilns and forges for for molding iron and metals, and those can get up to tens of thousands of degrees hot. And so you can only imagine how the abundance of missiles that are going to get sent over here, how hot that day, the day of the Lord, is actually going to be. It says, and all the proud being the Edomites and anyone who follows after them. I think it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 50, calls them the most proud. It says, yeah, and all that do wickedly, that's the people following after the Edomites, shall be stubble. Nothing left, barely anything left. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, the Lord of the armies. It says that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So there's not going to be a way for the Edomites to start over. There's not going to be a way for them to get out of this. This is their manifest destiny. And I really enjoy using that term because they've put this out there. They're the only ones that have actually dropped nukes onto another nation, but it's going to turn around and be done to them. As thou hast done, it shall be done. And it's rightfully what should happen to them. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And so all these things are about to turn around onto Esau, Edom. That's why they're moving so fast with their plans for their NWO. So that because they believe that they can actually keep their birthright in some kind of way and remain in power. But for the good of the planet, they need to be removed from power, and in a violent way, because they came in so violently. It's the book of 2 Peter chapter 3. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night. And that's when everyone is least expecting it. That's when thieves come. When you're either not there or at night when you're fast asleep. And these people that are not paying attention to the prophecies or to what's going on in the world, it's gonna catch them by surprise. It says, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, that being the rulership, which are the Edomites in this current time period. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. And so the Lord's coming back to a world that's ruled by the Edomites, and he's going to take them out of their heavens, otherwise rulership. They will be removed away from it. And it says with a great noise, that being those nukes. And it says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And what do you know that can melt elements besides nuclear weapons? It says, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. The fashions of this world fadeth away. And we're looking for the new orderly world under Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And so this is inevitable. This destruction of this world, the destruction of Babylon the Great, aka America, and the ways of this world, it's all inevitable. It's going to go out with nuclear destruction. It's going to go out with the chariots of Yahushai and his angels coming back to remove Esau from power. It's all coming to pass, and it couldn't come quick enough. It even, or in verse 12, it says, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High. So we should be looking forward to this and trying to push it along. Ways that we do that is by going out to the highways and byways and announcing the prophecies, announcing judgment, of the Lord and trying to wake up our people, wake up the elect of the nation of Israel. Because once the elect are awoken and sealed, then all these things are going to increase in speed rapidly. The falling of his kingdom and the transfer over to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. It says, wherein the heavens, being on fire, shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, because the Lord's going to it's going to be a cleansing process that happens, and he's going to clean up the earth for the new rulership, since wherein dwelleth righteousness, because we need this earth to be cleaned. We need the ways of this world, all the thoughts and the ideas and philosophies, to be cleansed and removed from the thought of people. We need the law, statutes, and commandments established, and the throne of Yahweh Shai to be established. And so, repent, because this is inevitable. It's going to happen. This world is falling. It's not very hard to see. And Lord willing, that was edifying. So I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham L'Chakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.